Hello everybody, welcome back to C&S Corvettes in beautiful sunny Sarasota, Florida. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and Corvette stuff. And today is an extremely special day today because I am going to tell the story of how I got into the Corvette business. We're not going to do any promos, we're not going to do any of that because I just want to get directly into the story because it isn't short, but I'll make it as brief and entertaining as I can. And there's a whole point to this because there is precisely one reason that I am in the Corvette business, and it's because I was reading a particular book at the airport in Baltimore in 1998. Now we'll get to why that is, but let's back up to when I was 5 years old. My dad was a wonderful guy. I had such wonderful parents. And they did all kinds of fun stuff with my sister and me. It was awesome. The only thing I would complain about was my dad was not a car guy. He picked cars like he picked dogs. Whatever was loneliest and most forlorn at the end of the row is what came home. For example, we owned the following cars. 1975 Gremlin in orange. 1982 Ford Granada in nude beige. Let's see what else. We had here's one of my personal favorites. My dad took us all for a test drive in an 86 Merkur XR4 Ti, which was a super cool car. I was 16, I couldn't wait. Yeah, the next day he came home with the 1986 Mercury Marquis. I cried for a day. Anyway, I didn't grow up in what we would call a car family. My dad didn't work on cars, we didn't have anything fast, cool, or fun, but I always had a deep-seated love for fast cars, specifically for Corvette, because when I was 5 years old, my father bought one of those plastic snap-type models of a red 63 split-window coupe, and he built it with me, and I always thought that car was the most beautiful car I had ever seen. And that started my love of Corvettes. And all through grade school and high school, I was always paying attention to Corvettes that were around me. Just always something that really touched my soul. Fast forward to graduating from high school, I go out to college at the United States Air Force Academy Preparatory School, and my roommate there had been a regular in the Air Force before coming to the prep school, so he was a couple years older than me, and he brought with him to the school his yellow 1979 Corvette with side pipes and a great big Alpine stereo. And on the weekends, he and I would go driving through the Rocky Mountains in this car with the tops off, the radio blaring, and the side pipes roaring. At that point, I was hooked. I was a Corvette man for life. Fast forward another year or two, and I'm at a different college, and I meet this lovely girl who takes me home to meet her mom. Her mom, of course, this girl did become my wife, but we get to that later. Takes me home to meet her family, and in their garage is a brand new 1991 red Corvette coupe. Her mother asked me, "Oh, do you like Corvettes?" And I said, "Oh God, yes, I love Corvettes." She said, "Would you like to drive it?" And she handed me the keys to her brand new Corvette after knowing me for about 15 minutes and let me go drive around the Kentucky countryside with it. Again, another Corvette did a big signpost moment in my life. So I go through college, I graduate, I end up marrying that young lady, and we then move to Florida. And so I'm working and, just trying to find jobs and, starting out as a young 20-something guy with a wife. And my wife's brother was graduating from the Coast Guard in Cape May, New Jersey. So I go up, the entire family flies up to go to his graduation. This is a big moment for him and the family. So while I'm sitting in Baltimore Airport to catch a connecting flight, I'm reading a book that my mother-in-law had given me for Christmas. And it was called All Corvettes Are Red. And it's about the development and the crazy gestation that the C5 Corvette went through and how there was really not going to be another Corvette for a big chunk of the period of time that book was concerned with. I'll get into the book itself a bit later, but as I'm reading this book in the airport, this older gentleman walks up to me, Southern guy, and he says, "Hey, I see you reading that book. You like Corvettes?" And I'm like, "Oh, I love Corvettes. I've always loved Corvettes." Well, his name was Mike Taylor, and he was a Corvette collector out of Tampa, and he had a 54 and a 62 and a 66 and on and on and on. He sat and talked to me, and we talked about Corvettes for about 2 hours while, on this layover. And right about the time it was time for me to get ready to get in line to get on board the plane, he says, you know what, you said you're from Sarasota. You've got a real passion for this. You should do something with it. There's a guy down there named Steve. He's got a Corvette shop. It's like C&S Corvettes, I think. You should go see him. I'll bet he'd let you work at the shop, just, you know, cleaning up parts or sweeping the floors just so you can be around him. And I was like, huh. So graduation went through, came home. First place I went when I got back here was to find C&S Corvettes and go talk to this guy Steve to see if there was any way possible that I could come and just be a part of the shop. And when I walked up the stairs to the office, I walked in, I introduced myself, and I said, I know absolutely nothing about cars, but I love Corvettes. If you will let me come here on my days off, which were always in the middle of the week at that time, from my other job, you don't even have to pay me. Just let me be around the cars. And Steve graciously said, well, we'll give you a shot. He says, you're not going to work for free, but I'm not going to pay you much. That hasn't changed. Anyway, so I started working here on my days off, and my job was to clean parts. And then it was to start disassembling wrecked Corvettes, most of which were C4s at that time, with hand tools. I wasn't allowed power tools, out in the concrete in the sun during the summer in Florida. And I loved every minute of it. Figured I'd do that part-time for about 4 years, and then Steve's right-hand man left the business to go work on street rods, and I took Steve to lunch every day for a week. And I said, every day at lunch, you've got to give me that job. And he says, but you don't know anything yet. And I said, you're right, you won't have to untrain me. You'll be able to teach me exactly the way you want things done. So he gave me a chance, and in 2002, I became the manager of C&S Corvettes, and I have been here literally every day since. And that has been my journey. And it all comes down to rereading that book in that airport on that day. Changed my life completely. Now, I know that that book is still available out there, but it's not published frequently. They'll publish it in a batch, and then it's not available for a while, and then it is. It's in paperback now. All Corvettes Are Red by James Schefter was published in '97, right when the new Corvette came out. But we are going to be offering that book on our site just because it has so much meaning to me, and it's truly one of the best Corvette stories you'll ever read. The politics and the infighting and all the stuff that went on inside GM. Not only is it interesting to see how many times the Corvette came close to not existing, but how many times it changed, dates were pushed back, the East Coast Design Studio and the West Coast Design Studio fighting over who was going to get to design it, on and on. One of the coolest automotive stories I've ever read. I still have my hardcover copy on my bookshelf from way back when, but if you guys want to read a really great story about the car that you all love and that is responsible for every Corvette that came after it. So if you own a C6, a C7, or a C8, none of those cars would have been possible without what happened in this story. So this book is going to be available on my website. It's $24. That includes shipping. I think there's like 38 cents for shipping insurance. So you can find the link down below in the video here. I'll tell you what, guys, this book is very, very special to me, and I've wanted to make this video for a long time because I think my story about how I got into this is relatively unique, and it has changed my life completely and definitely for the better that I get to do what I love every day. So if you're interested in one of these books, by all means, follow the link below and we'll be happy to get you one. Now, I have a limited number. I've ordered 200 copies. When those 200 copies are gone, I can certainly get more, but it'll take me a couple weeks to get more. If you want an autographed copy, which I don't understand why, but some people have asked me to autograph their black books that we sold, and I'm happy to do it. I'm just a dude, but if you want an autograph, just put it in the comments below when you purchase the book, and I will sign the inside cover of your book before I send it out to you. I hope you enjoyed listening to my story, and I hope that it maybe made your day a little bit brighter. And if you want the book, awesome. If not, I just hope you enjoyed the story. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.